Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You probably saw the Memorial Day skinning event in the on the Facebook page. If you haven't, I'll leave a link for it below. But I thought I'd take this opportunity to do a little bit of skinning myself, and since the contest is Memorial Day, I've been searching for some images. So what we can go over in this video, have been wanting to do a video on layering. So we'll cover layering in paint.net, and we'll cover well, I'll show you how to create your own transparency, because if you come across a particular graphic that you want to use, and let's say it doesn't have a transparent background, we'll help you out with that too. So here's an image right here that I've found, and we'll just right click on that and say open image in new tab. There's the image we want, and we'll go ahead and save it. It's a JPEG. I've got a few other images I've already acquired, so let's get down to it then. Pull up paint.net, and you might use GIMP or Photoshop or whatever your preference is. I always close this first image. I'm going to go ahead and now open. I am going to come in here and open the Freightliner, because that's the truck of the day, isn't it? That's the one we want you to use in the contest. Doesn't have to be Mark Brower's Legacy Sleeper. It can be the standard SCS truck, but it does need to be the Freightliner Cascadia. If you don't have the templates, there are sources online. This particular Legacy template does come with the truck. So when you unzip the folder from the download, if you obtained it on the Facebook page, which I hope you did, you would have gone to a mega link, and then the mega link has a zip file. When you unzip it, you will have not only the truck, the SCS file, but you'll also have two templates. This one is the PNG, and you'll also have a paint.net that already has a bunch of layers in it. It shows you all the different parts. That's for helping to sort out your different parts. Okay, here we go. I pulled up this background, and I went ahead and created another layer. I'm just going to double click that, and I just name these so that I don't get confused. Calling this my color layer. I'm going to switch white to the foreground and take my bucket fill and just click anywhere in there to fill it. Going to move it beneath the truck. Now we're going to add another layer. We're going to call it, we're going to move it up here where we need it. I'm just going to name, excuse me, I'm just going to name this graphics 1. Like I said, this is just so I can stay organized. Now we're going to open a file. The thing is, I showed you I was downloading some Memorial Day graphics, and we had this one that we just downloaded at the beginning of the video. Now this one is a JPEG, and it also has a white background. Now I want to create a transparency. So the first thing I want to do is save as, and I'm going to make it a PNG. I'll leave it the same name, doesn't matter. Say OK. Now let's see, I believe that switched it to a PNG. So we're going to go grab our magic wand. Now if you need to adjust your tolerance, it's up here. I think it defaults at 50%. 50% should be fine for this. We'll try it. Just going to select the background and hit delete. We'll have to go in here and do the little parts that didn't get highlighted because they're contained in something else. But that's easy enough done. There we go. We'll inspect it really quickly. Alright, I'm happy with it. I'm going to hit save as PNG. It's going to say, hey, you want to overwrite it? Sure, no problem. Okay, there we have our graphic. We're going to select all, copy, go back to the truck. We're on this graphics one layer already. And we're going to hit edit, paste, and then there's our graphic. We're going to grab it by the little arrow there, and let's just put this one right here on the door, and we're going to resize it just a little bit so it looks like it fits properly. And we can always move it up a little bit, just kind of miss that little window there. Alright, then we're going to go back to this image. We're going to go image, flip horizontally, and since this has text, we're going to have to go image, vertically and then horizontally. You can do it either way around. Select all again, copy it again, go back to the truck, edit, paste. Now you've got the reversed image, just what you need to go on the other door. So we're going to resize it a little bit to miss the window, the little window there, and there you go. I'm going to go ahead and deselect it. I look at it, looks fine to me. Open another one. Pardon me. Now this one, let's see. Let's do the hood next. Let's grab this cool looking eagle. It looks great on the hood, I think. Select all, copy. We might even use that on the back of the sleeper because it's such a cool looking graphic. It honors all these different branches here at the bottom. And I'm hoping that'll squeeze between the stacks. Maybe I'll make it just a little bit smaller. You have to kind of think in your mind. If you haven't looked at the truck in the game, go in there and look at it, make a mental note of where things are, like the stacks, so that you can kind of judge where it is in your mind. Alright, I like that. I'm going to go ahead and paste another one in here. And we're going to drag it over here. We're going to really start to shrink it down, but I'm not going to shrink it down too much because I want to make sure I'm getting it right at a 90-degree angle. You can kind of look at the sides of the square, make sure you're getting it. Now, if you're not good with squishing the constraints like this, you can always go back to the image and resize it first if you want to do it that way. And then select all, copy, paste, that kind of thing. But I don't mind sitting here goofing off, trying to drag it and keep it proportionate. I sometimes get them off a little bit, I won't lie. That looks good to me right there. I know it's not going to be perfect, but you know, who is, right? Alright, now what I'm going to do is set this up for another layer, but I don't want to interfere with anything else I've got in here. Because if you notice, let's just do this real quick here. I want to paste another one. Now if I bring this down, you see how it's making the other one disappear? We don't want that. So what I'm going to do is undo that. I'm going to make another layer. I'll leave it on top of this one. It's irrelevant at this point where it goes, but see, we've got graphics 1, and we're going to call this one just so I can stay organized, I'm going to call it graphics shadow, because I already know what I'm going to do with this layer. Now we go open. What I'm going to do is I like this silhouette right here. I think it looks so cool. And what I'm going to do first is, I think it's got a little bit too much transparent area that I don't need. So I'm kind of judging where this is going to go on the truck. I just do this right here, and then we can crop it. We don't have to save it like this. We can come back later when we close it out and restore it back to the size it was in case we're ever going to need it again. Let's select all, copy, then let's go in here and paste it. What we're going to do is we're going to drag it down here on the side of the sleeper, and I'm going to line it up with the back of the tail fin, just slightly overlapping there. I'm going to go ahead and push it over a little bit to where I'm lined up just about to the front of the sleeper there, and then I'm going to bring this top down to where I can give the guys back their proportions. Now I like that. It just about fits right on there. And I'll tell you why I call this shadow layer in a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to go image, flip vertically. We're going to say select all, and we're going to copy that again back to the truck, paste. Going to do the same thing on the other side. Now we've got exactly a flipped over copy on the other side of the truck, just like we need it. And we're going to try to keep it sort of lined up with the bottom of the sleeper. Stop it right about the front of the sleeper, somewhere in there. And then we can knock this top down just a little bit to where they look proportionate. Now I'm going to deselect that particular pasted graphic, but we're still on this layer. Now I want this to shadow in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ease down on my opacity here, so it's just a hint. That's what I want right there. Now I can move this down just so it's, you know, above the truck layer for now while we're working with it. That won't be a concern later because we actually are going to do away with that truck layer here after a while. Anyway, so now we can go open, and let's grab this cool looking flag right here, because you got to admit that's cool looking. The same thing here. It's got a lot of extra real estate that I don't need, so I'm going to crop it. I could save it just like that so I'd never have to worry about it, but there might be a time when I want a little more real estate, so I'll leave it. I'm going to select all, copy, go here, paste. Oops, see what I did wrong? It's too faint. That's right. We can go back to this graphics layer. The only thing on this graphics layer is this eagle and this eagle. So if I'm not going to be anywhere around those eagles, it doesn't matter. So we're going to paste again. Now you can see it looks just right. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to try to use this right here and go right over the top of my shadow layer. That's the idea behind the shadow layer. We could still put graphics on top of it. So here we're going to flip vertical. We got words on it, so we're going to flip horizontal. We're going to select all, copy, and then we're going to go back to our truck, edit, paste, slide it over here. What we want to do is, I know it's going to be opposite of the other side, but we can't really help that because of the words or the letters USA. So we're just going to kind of put it like that. It's fairly close, I think, to the one on the other side. These windows are a little different from side to side, so you're going to have a little bit of variation in your graphics anyway. Now we're going to decorate it up a little bit with and we're just goofing around here. You know, nothing's written in stone. You do what makes you happy. That's what I always say. So what we're going to do, I've got a little edge on there. I guess it won't matter. It's transparent anyway. Alright, we're going to select all, copy, and then what are we going to do with this one? Let's create another layer. Let's just call it flags. And we're going to paste. Now we can do anything we want with this because it's our truck. So I'm going to drag this down here where all the fenders are, and I'm going to stretch it out like that. Is that cool? Put it just under the sleeper, stretched out like that. I think it's kind of cool. Now we can go back to that flag and let's flip it. Select it, copy it, paste it. Some of this is going to be a mess, but you know, I'm not going to enter it in the contest anyway. That contest is for all of you guys and gals, and I make it a practice not to enter them as an admin because I don't want to interfere with everybody else's fun. Alright, so I just happened to notice something. I think what I want to do is go back to this shadow layer, and I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to deselect everything at the moment, but I'm going to go back here. I'm going to flip this image back over, and I'm going to grab this without so much terrain in it on each side. I'm going to crop it. I'm going to select it all, copy it, and then I'm going to paste it. I'm on the shadow layer, so I already know it's going to come in lighter. That's cool. I can still see it just fine. I wanted to add a touch of that to my sleeper, the back of the sleeper. So I've already got my eagle graphic in there, which is cool, but I just figured this would give it just a little extra flair, if you will. Now we might go in here and grab something like this, and then we can select it, copy it, and then what we'll do is we'll go back to our flags layer because we've got some real estate on there that we can borrow. So we're going to go paste. Now what I want to do is try to get tricky a little bit with this. And I don't actually know if this is the back or the front of the rear spoiler. This is the spoiler that's on top of the sleeper. So I'm going to do that with it. And then what we're going to do, and other people might know some fancy tricks where they can take that layer, like that graphic that I just had in there. I want to flip it horizontally. Now, some people might know how to do that using the one they already had in there, and I'll show you what I mean. Let's paste that in there. You see it's selected. Some people might know how to like use a hotkey or something, and just copy that right here on the layer. But I've tried it and I haven't had any success at it because it obviously doesn't work like GIMP, and I'm used to GIMP, so this is all new to me here. But anyway, I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll watch a couple tutorials using paint.net or something. But it is my favorite for doing trucks because it's so versatile. But I just haven't learned all the different parameters of it yet. Alright, so I think that's enough for now. We can safely say that we worked with different layers. And if I wanted to move something behind something else, like if I wanted to move the, say, this flag right here behind the silhouette of the soldiers, all I have to do is grab the layer that has those flags and drag it behind the layer I want to put it behind. So it's just like this color layer. If I drag it over here on top of all this, you can see it's going to cover up everything. It's the same principle. So we keep that in the back. But anyway, I'm going to leave this white layer in here so that the truck is white. I'm going to turn off the truck itself. And then, let's see, did I get everything in there that I wanted? I guess. I mean, it's neither here nor there. You can add whatever you want. If you want to do the back bumper, and let's do this. Let's zoom out a little bit, and then let's take our select tool here. What layer are we on? Color. Let's go back to our flags layer, and we've got our rectangle select. So let's just go in here and select that rear bumper, since we were talking about the rear bumper. And I know I'm probably there we go, out just a little bit. There we go. Now we can see where we're at. You can use this to move your selection box a little bit, and I just can't get my hands on that. So what we're going to do is drop down here. I'll show you what to do about that. You could take your color wheel, and let's find a really nice patriotic red, okay? And then we will take our bucket and we'll just fill that with red. And now we'll go back to our rectangle select again. We'll grab this little area that we missed, go back to our paint bucket, boom. All right, that takes care of that. Now that's what it looks like. It's deselect it. I don't like to have any selections lit up when I go to save this thing. I'm always afraid it's just going to save the selection and that's it. But anyway, maybe it's just a weird fear. Alright, we're going to rename this because we don't want to overwrite our template. We're going to call it Memorial Day Freightliner Legacy. Let's call it, we'll just call it a test. Alright, that's paint.net. So this will save all my layers separately like this. And now I have other tutorials on using paint to make truck skins, so if I'm skipping over anything really too quickly here, just you can look at one of my other tutorials if you want. Alright, we're going to save this as a PNG. Of course, you need to flatten everything so it makes it one layer. Boom. Just like that. We'll reduce this window. What we're going to do now is we're going to try to find my lost way around here. Here we go. Mod Studio 2. UI. And well, new project, ATS mod. I'm gonna fill out the manifest real quick. We'll call it memory. How's that? And always put your name in as the creator or author. I'm just gonna give it a 1.1 version. It doesn't matter. Paint job, and it's for 1.40 point asterisk. It's supposed to be a 4. I can't see anything anymore. 40, not 30. That wouldn't have worked. We're just gonna use the default. Call it Memorial Test. Hey, this is just for you guys and gals. Simple truck skin for now. You can make it more complex if you want. Where's all my trucks at? What? Okay. Houston. What is the problem here? Well, that's an oddity. Let's load it from the mod, I guess. Freightliner Legacy. See, it's supposed to be saved in user vehicles. I don't know why it's not. Anyway, that's odd. So let's go back here and save as. And we want to get back to our Freightliner where we were saving everything, and we're going to call this Memorial Test. I don't know what I did. I must have deleted something or messed something up. It had all my trucks in it, so I'll have to replace those, but whatever. Alright, so it's saved. We're going to go back to vehicles again. We're going to make sure that it's in there. There it is right there. So now it's saved. And it's not going to show up in the list just yet, but that's okay. We'll come back to that in a minute. We'll call this memory. Skin name. Mem test. Let's set the price. Unlock level. We'll unlock the base color even though I don't know it's going to make any difference since I painted the truck white already in paint. Going to browse and find the image, which is right here. Test. Looks just like it, don't it? Icon, use the default for now. Metallic, we'll go ahead and turn that on. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. And see, I just had to change tabs a few times. I came back. There's our Freightliner Cascadia Legacy Sleeper. We'll go back here. We'll hit save. And we'll hit export mod. Export. And we'll call this Memorial Day Freightliner Legacy Test. Save. It's exporting. Show in folder. Copy. Paste. Close that. Open this. Need to check something here. We go to mod. It's going to take a moment to load. Here we are. Memory. There, we'll move it down amongst our other paint jobs still above the truck. I don't know what difference it makes, if it makes any. Go in the game. Alright, here we are. I don't remember where I was at. Hopefully I'm still at the repair shop. If not, you get to see my real crappy driving. Yeah, we're still here. Get to see a little bit of my real crappy driving anyway. And you can see my other Memorial Day skin I did for the photos for the contest. Kind of similar to the one we just made, but speaking of which, we're going to go to the paint jobs and we're going to put that one on there. There it is. And ain't that odd? Got some red on that fender. I must have crossed over when I painted that bumper or something. There's a little bit right there. So anyway, you get to see my inconsistencies, but there's that red bumper, and you can see where we laid those American flags over. The rear fenders came out kind of cool. The back end, like I was telling you, I was trying to judge right where those stacks were. And on this particular truck, they're pinched in just a little bit, so they're not over here in the far corners of the sleeper, which is fine. I mean, if you're really opposed to having anything like that messing up your back end of your truck, you can always go in there and turn the stacks off, and that gets it completely out of the way. Now there's our flags. Okay, so that solved that mystery for me. That piece that we were messing with on the template That was the back of the that was the back of this spoiler. So I was concerned that it was going to come out on the front, but no, that looks good. That looks good. Then there's the hood graphic. Memorial Day on the doors. I kind of got it stretched over a little too far onto this piece, so it's over the line of the door, but you know, what you gonna do for 50 cents, right? But the silhouette, you can see what that shadow layer looks like on there all the way around. I think that looks so cool on a truck because you can put graphics right over the top of it and it doesn't interrupt anything. You still get that ambiance, I guess you could call it. So anyway, that's it. That's working with layering a little bit and goofing off with that. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this evening, and if I don't see you between now and then, have a good Memorial Day celebration, and always remember those we've lost.